So MSNBC used to consider itself a progressive network, which these days sounds kind of funny. They do still have some progressive hosts on there. Throughout that entire time, they still had Joe Scarborough on, which is this giant 3-hour block of conservative program led by a former Republican congressman, while they pretend to be progressive throughout. But now their intentions have become far more clear. So let me explain. Huffington Post reports NBC has snagged another conservative voice, hiring Washington Post columnist and former Fox News commentator George Will as a contributor for MSNBC and NBC News. Wow, congratulations on that prize that you've landed. George Will, of course, as everybody knows, is deeply conservative. Will has faced criticism, including in his own paper, the Washington Post, for his arguments downplaying the seriousness of climate change. Now, the establishment has decided that if you're against Donald Trump, and George Will is, then great, I don't care about all of your odious positions. Otherwise, welcome to the New York Times, welcome to MSNBC. That's part of the phenomenon. But for MSNBC, it's only a small part. If you're a right winger, MSNBC would love to have you. That's their new pattern, and it's very obvious. But let me give you one more thing about George Will if you're unconvinced about his conservatism. And look, I've been watching George Will my whole life here in America. Anyone who knows that he is as right-wing as it gets. Just because you don't like Donald Trump doesn't mean that you're not deeply conservative. He says, Will has also written skeptically, for example, about this, quote, supposed campus epidemic of rape, suggesting in a 2014 column that statistics on campus sexual assault are overinflated and describing, quote, victimhood as a, quote, coveted status that confers privileges. So, yeah, I mean, it's so coveted to get raped on college campuses, and so that's why you would want a status like that. George Will maintains. So welcome to MSNBC, where we lean forward. No, we lean back. We sip on gin and juice, or I don't know, we're lean right in the middle. No, we're gonna lean right. Remember, they took out the ad in the newspaper saying people might be surprised in the direction we're going, and they had a bunch of right wingers. Yeah, no, we're not surprised anymore. In fact, Ryan Grim had a great article explaining that they plan to move the cable news network away from its bedrock liberalism and toward a more centrist approach personified by Brian Williams. Well, isn't that perfect? So take the only thing on television that was vaguely progressive and decide to go in a more centrist direction. Centrist as in don't rock the boat. Comcast is part of the boat. Why do you want to rock it? We're a multi-billion-dollar media organization. We're the largest media organization in the whole wide world. Why would we want to rock the boat? Bring in Brian. Brian, tell us fun little tales about how things are going. Now, I've said this a million times. I know Brian Williams a tiny bit. I feel bad about it, but I got to tell you, look, and he got a raw deal in the sense that what I said all the time is that Bill O'Reilly lied 1,000 times worse than Brian Williams. So people are mad, and they say this is symbolic that they are going in a more misleading direction. I think that is a tiny issue compared to what they do all the time, which by the way was, and I said it at the time of the original controversy around Brian Williams, the much bigger problem is that Brian Williams, along with all of NBC News, in days where they are led by Andy Lack, the guy who is now in charge, and sometimes, and oftentimes even when they weren't, because that's the whole ethos of the organization is, how can I serve the people in power? They would bring on generals, they would not identify them as working for defense contractors, and those former generals would come on and go, oh my God, what we need is more war. If we only had more war, everything would be great. And you know what, let's roll in those Abrams tanks, McCaffrey would say. And guess who McCaffrey worked for? The guys who makes Abrams tanks. And they never disclosed that on NBC. That was the real heart of the problem. So now that's the new direction they want to go. They want to go more in that direction. And they call it centrist. It's not centrist. It's pro status quo, pro multi-billion-dollar corporations, pro all the things that progressives are not interested in. Okay, look, I should be thrilled. Somebody told me this the other day. They said, like, you run a news network that's very successful online that actually is progressive. So they're throwing their audience at you. They're saying, here, take all my audience and have them watch the Young Turks instead. You should be happy about that. What kind of businessman are you? I'm the kind of person who actually wants as many people to do what we're doing as possible so that the message gets out, so that there is a balance in how we cover these issues. There's no balance on TV. Everybody thinks, oh, the establishment is awesome. Hillary Clinton's definitely gonna win. She's the best candidate. Okay, a senior MSNBC source from inside the building says, Hayes, Maddow, and O'Donnell, the three progressive hosts left. The entire primetime lineup is doing record numbers, and Andy Lack, who's now in charge, can't stand it. It makes him furious. Isn't that amazing? You've got progressives who are doing well. It's the only thing that's doing well on MSNBC. And they're like, oh my God, if they weren't doing so well, I could fire them. Well, why do you want to fire them in the first place? Shouldn't you be happy that anchors on your network are doing great? No, they don't want that liberal message out there. Look, think about it. Comcast, it has so much money on the line when it comes to their mergers, when it comes to net neutrality, when it comes to all these issues which they are deeply right-wing about. So MSNBC is a tiny portion of the Comcast business. So for that tiny portion, even if they do better in the ratings, they make a little bit more revenue. It's nothing compared to the parent corporation and their overall interests. So, oh wow, Rachel Maddow and Chris Hayes made a little bit more money for MSNBC. Who cares? Get them off the air. Get all those progressives, get them off the air. Andy Lack, we need a corporate hack. Send in Andy Lack. So Andy Lack does this for a living. And so technically Phil Griffin's still running MSNBC. That's a whole nother story. But Andy Lack is the guy who's now running NBC News, and Phil does as he's told. So Andy comes and says, okay, now you're gonna fire all your progressives because we need to put right-wing propaganda out there because that's what our parent corporation wants. Right-wing propaganda kills net neutrality. They make billions of dollars more. Who cares about your silly little ratings? Fire them all, okay? So now it's uncomfortable and awkward to fire hosts that are doing really well. Now Rachel Maddow, in the most important demographic, is beating all the other cable news outlets. That's so unfortunate that we're winning. Otherwise, we could get rid of her. That's not me saying it. That's people inside MSNBC saying it. Okay, so but it's okay. They've got a brilliant new plan. The centrism is going to really work well. So they've come out with new ads, and they're not featuring their stars, the people that are doing well in the ratings. They're featuring neutral, bland, don't rock the boat journalists. So and they brag about it. So here's Chuck Todd's hilarious new ad.
Rule number 10, section 2A states a player shall not run with the ball without dribbling it. That's the rule. But what about our politics? Are there any rules anymore? And if so, will anybody play by them? These days, politics could use a little refereeing. And we're not afraid to blow the whistle.
They did an ad where they said they're not afraid to blow the whistle. Okay, you're bragging about being the neutral referee. You think that's gonna get you an audience? Like, remember everybody, we are not progressive, okay? We are a neutral referee. We will blow the whistle. Hey, Donald, don't do that. No, we're neutral though, we're neutral. We don't care who wins, we're just a ref. We don't have a side. Donald Trump wins, great, fantastic. Republican Party wins, great. I don't know, I'm just a ref. I'm just blowing the whistle here, that's all I'm doing. Okay, so look guys, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys will love it. So if you like centrism like that, you think that working for these multi-billion-dollar multinational corporations and supporting their interests over the interests of the American people is a wonderful idea. Go support MSNBC. Oh my God, hey, hon, you gotta see this. He blew. No, he blew the whistle. Oh my, that's amazing programming. But if you're a progressive, okay, look, let me show you the bloodbath. Here are the progressives moved out of MSNBC recently. This does not include Dylan Ratigan, me, and so many others before the Andy Lack era, right? Alex Wagner, gone. Joey Reid moved to a lower spot. Even on the weekends, she's beating some of their primetime programming, but no, don't put her in primetime. We don't want people to do well. Rona Farrow, such as he is, gone. The Cycle, which had a lot of progressives on it, gone. Reverend Al Sharpton, such as he is, gone. Melissa Harris Perry, gone. She was actually progressive. Touré was progressive, gone. Oh, I'm also noticing a pattern here. That's a lot of African Americans that are gone. Dorian Warren, gone. Michael Eric Dyson, a much lower and less prominent role now. Adam Howard, Jamil Smith, Tamron Hall, another African American rising star, gone. Steve Kornacki, supported by Rachel Maddow, brought in by Rachel Maddow, gone. Or again, lower roles. Ed Schultz, gone. Okay, wiped off the face of the earth. So Martin Bashir, before the Annie Lackey era, gone. If you're a progressive, go, yeet. Moved in, established moved in, Chuck Todd. Now, Chuck Todd's been at NBC for a long time, but they brought him back to MSNBC. He had miserable ratings there, but they're like, miserable ratings? That's what MSNBC is all about. Come on back, Chuck. So he's now got a daily show where he blows whistle after whistle after whistle. They gave Mark Halperin and John Heilemann a show. It was an epic disaster in the ratings. And it was so bad, so embarrassing, it had to get canceled. But don't worry, you could catch him on any morning on Morning Joe for about 8 hours a day. Okay, Katie Tur moved in. She's a fine reporter. It does, but middle of the road. Conservatives moved in. They brought in Megyn Kelly, paid her a ton of money. Now, Greta Van Susteren, to be fair, is not exactly conservative. Okay, she's more of an enigma. But she worked at Fox News, so they're like, oh yes, somebody worked at Fox News. Bring him in right away. Nicole Wallace worked for George W. Bush. Great, George W. Bush, we love that guy, bring him in. Hugh Hewitt, conservative talk show host. Bring him in. We lean corporate. And a little bit more right wing. Okay, we lean center right. Is there a more disastrous battle plan in media today? Okay, anyway, I should be thrilled, but let's hope that the three primetime anchors can hold on for dear life, because what I care about is our ideas are right. We care about facts, so there has to be some sort of counterbalance to Fox News. And yes, the establishment point of view also on CNN and almost all the other news networks. Yes, if you want a pro-corporate message that tells you to bow your head, not to care about the news, there is 1,000 options on television. So they're in the middle of killing the very last option on television. It's okay. Young Turks is rising, not just online, but soon you'll be able to watch it everywhere. But for the moment being, hang in there, Hayes, Maddow, and O'Donnell, and the rest of MSNBC has become a total wasteland. But okay, maybe I'm wrong. Let's ask our audience. You guys are progressive. MSNBC poll: is MSNBC progressive? And maybe some of you still think, no, it's wonderful. Like those, man, Chuck Todd. You're a progressive. You want him at the helm with that whistle. Grab the whistle, Chuck, and get in the game. Donnie, hey, watch out. Or maybe it's awesome that you won. I don't know, I'm neutral. Okay, tytnetwork.com/MSNBC to vote in that poll.
Podcast The Young Turks anytime you want. tytnetwork.com/join.
I think it's weird.
No, it's not weird. In fact, you'll think,
I'm like a smart person.
do it now, tytnetwork.com/join.